Hi, everybody. Welcome to Katie in the Morning. I'm Katie Page, Director of Member Relations at the National Association of Healthcare Assistants. Over this last weekend, I got to talking to somebody online, and it was a girl who was looking at becoming a CNA. She was just straight out of high school, looking for that career path, and wanted to take a year off before she started college, and came across being a CNA as one of the options that she had as a working career as she's going into college and throughout her college years. And she asked me what the hardest part of being a CNA is. And there is an array of answers to that question. Being a CNA for 15 years, I wouldn't say it's the running the floor, the excessive hours, taking orders from other people. Even death would not be my very number one answer. My number one answer as a CNA, the hardest thing for me is to relax. We've all been in those situations where something has happened, you feel like it's your fault, whether it was or not. Things that could have been prevented. If I had done this, the outcome would have been different. Essentially, as CNAs, we blame ourselves for a lot of things that happen, which really we have no effect on. The bottom line is there are things that we could have had in place that would have affected the outcome of the situation or the incident, but it's not stuff that we would have foreseen until it actually happens. I have a really hard time separating my work from home because my residents are people who I care about on a day-to-day basis, just like my kids. This week, I really wanted to focus on some different ways that you can kind of relax and redirect your mind to other areas rather than just work. So I came up with 15 ways that you can relax at home. We're going to go through these kind of one by one and kind of explain each category or each suggestion that they have. The first one is keep your work obligations at work. That is a lot easier said than done. Especially like you have those residents that really want you there 24 hours a day. I mean, you are their number one caregiver. They're your favorite. I've even seen CNAs give out their cell phone number to their residents if they're like in a small home. I worked up in Iowa in a facility that was only a 24-bed facility, and you really got to know those residents one-on-one because there are 6 CNAs working on any given day, on any given shift, except for the overnight shift. We all know that one's the exception. So we really got to know these residents in a personal way, like the people that were coming in to see them, their family and friends lived in the same community. It's really a rural area in Iowa. And I saw CNAs give out their cell phone numbers, and they'd have residents call them at 2 o'clock in the morning because they had a nightmare, or they're really excited because they just found out that their daughter was pregnant or their granddaughter was pregnant. And that's just kind of the thing that there's a line when it comes between personal life and professional life that really should not be crossed. We are there as their caregivers, and a lot of times there's a gray area for a lot of us, especially me, when it comes to getting to know those residents, their habits, their likes, their dislikes, that sort of thing. So when you're focusing on relaxing, really just try to put work out of your mind when you're at home. You owe yourself this. It's been a proven fact that people who take that time to just kind of relax and kind of retune themselves have higher production at work, and it's easier for them to focus on single tasks or multiple tasks, just to focus, period. So the number 2 one is to change into comfortable clothes. Scrubs are my comfortable clothes. I mean, you get so used to being into them, but really that having those scrubs on in your personal atmosphere is really subliminal messaging to yourself that you're still in that setting, you're still in that professional setting. So once you get home, I know a lot of aides that come home, shower, and change clothes right away, which is a really good idea because once you're coming from that work environment to your home or vice versa, you're carrying any like bacteria or infections or viruses that you've come in contact with during the day. You can bring that home to your family, or if your family is sick at home, with anything, even flu, pneumonia, scabies is a big one that spreads from home to the work environment. Bed bugs, really make sure that you're separating your clothing as well as your mind focus. The third one for the suggestion on how to relax is stretch. This one is not just a mental thing, but it's also a physical thing. We're running our butts off 8 hours a day, and to kind of prep those muscles and vice versa. Stretch before you go home too, and just kind of let your body know this is his time to rechannel and relax. The fourth one is hydrate. Hydration with fluids running through your body, it's not just like your blood flow in your joints, but it's also like endorphins that by having a hydration, it makes everything just flow flow so much easily throughout your body, mentally and physically. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to run through the rest of the suggestions on our list for today.
When you have satisfied and content CNAs, the care is better and you're going to have less nursing assistant turnover.
So many times they think they're just, in the trenches and nobody hears and nobody cares about them, and it's not true. It's simply not true. And this organization helps them gain that voice and helps them be heard.
We're awesome, and I'm going to hold my head high, and I'm going to ride this magic carpet, and I'm going to change the world. That's what NAHCA did for me.
For more information, visit us online at nahcacna.org or call 417-623-6049.
Welcome back to Katie in the Morning. Today we're talking about how to relax in our home atmosphere. Just kind of like shutting off everything that happened at work that week or that day, and really refocusing your energy and calming yourself down so that you can focus on the tasks that are at hand in your near future. So we talked about keeping your obligations at work, changing into comfortable clothes, stretching, and hydrating. The fifth one is meditating. Meditating really gives your body a chance to relax and kind of focus on nothing. Literally, it's just clearing your mind, kind of centering your zen, so to speak, and it really brings yourself back to like a center position, like so that you're really earth-based, so to speak, I guess would be the best term for it. Even it doesn't have to be like a 2-hour meditation session or anything like that. Just take a few minutes out of your day to just kind of sit down, close your eyes, and shut everything off. Really give your body that chance to kind of recharge. The next suggestion on our list would to be visualize. Visualization plays a big part in kind of connecting what you want to be done to the things that you're actually doing. It goes back to that, I don't know if you guys all know that movie Waterboy with Adam Sandler. That's like one of my favorite comedies, but it's visualize and attack, visualize and attack, visualize and attack. Well, that's kind of what you're doing by visualizing. You're kind of mentally channeling everything that you want to get done, and then it helps you to focus on what you're actually doing and the tasks that you have to do beforehand. The next suggestion that we might have is to unwind to good music. I have met one person in my entire life who doesn't like music, period. Any kind of music, jazz, hip hop, rap, country, opera, gospel. I mean, nothing. Does not like any music at all. And this person has really like uptight personality. You know, those people that walk in the room, you can tell right away that they're just not a relaxed person. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he doesn't like music. By listening to music, it can channel memories. It can channel different sensations. I remember when I was probably about 14 years old, my mom and dad got me the brand new Boys to Men CD. That'll tell you guys how old I am. And every time I hear the songs, I can literally smell the lotion that my mom had got me because I was sitting in front of my little CD player and listening to Boys to Men and like going through your gifts, the next morning after Christmas, just to recap everything that you got. And I initially, every time I hear that song, I can smell the smell of that lotion that I got with the CD player. Anyways, back to the music thing. It can really like relax your body, rechannel your mind, and it can boost your energy as well. I know one of our members, Kate King, is constantly sending me just kind of like little pick-me-up songs at the beginning of the day. Like, this is a great song to get up and get dressed and get your day going to. So I really appreciate that. And Kate, I do listen to those songs when you send them to me. Salt and pepper seems to be a theme that we run with. The next suggestion for relaxation and kind of how to unwind is to take a warm bath. Not all of us have this opportunity. Those of us that work 16-hour days, 5 days a week, really a bath is biggest suggestion for us, but not all of us have the time to do that, especially if we have multiple kids at home, a husband to take care of, a household to run. But taking a bath and just kind of soaking in that warmth and taking that time for yourself, light a few candles, put them on the outside of the bathtub, put your favorite music on, and really take that time for yourself just to unwind and relax your muscles, your body, and your mind. The next suggestion that we would have is exercise. When you exercise, not only are you getting like the physical positive pros, I guess I should say, out of that, but you're also getting the mental ones. Once again, the release of the endorphins, the adrenaline, just kind of puts you, like, your whole body on level high, and it really helps you to focus and get things done in a way that you want them to get done. The next suggestion that we have is to get a back massage. Oh man, I know Jeff Wellman loves massages. That's like one of the things that we get him every year for either Christmas or his birthday, but it really is a good way to unwind. Masseuses specialize in areas and like sensitivity points. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but not just with your back, but your feet have several points in them too that can actually affect different parts of your body. Like there's a certain area you can rub for migraines. There's a certain area you can rub for upper back tension. I mean, there's just so much stuff that masseuses know that we don't know. But even if you don't have a masseuse, if your husband or your boyfriend owes you one, or your girlfriend and your wife, give them I got cash in that IOU one of these nights when all the kids are asleep and everybody, it's Sunday evening would be a great time if everybody has the day off. The next suggestion that we would have is to catch up with good friends. This one I personally experienced within the last 2 weeks. I called up one of my friends. Actually, she called me, who we've been friends for 10 plus years, which is actually pretty hard to find these days. And she's one of those people that we can not talk for months at a time. Wants to pick up that phone and call each other. It's like we just talked yesterday. And by the time that we got done with that conversation, I didn't even realize that I'd been talking to her for an hour and a half. But my body just felt so at ease after, hearing her voice, bringing back memories, sensations. And we were a big couple about going out and like trying different foods, different taco houses, taco places. Mexican food seemed to be our theme back then. But when I got off the phone with her, I just felt so much more at ease and so much more relaxed. And it didn't cost me anything. It just, just a little bit of time can really improve your life. The next suggestion that we would have is to laugh. Oh man, this shouldn't be number 12. This should be number 1 in my opinion. Laughing, not only is it like a physical relief, like of frustration, but it helps everybody else around you too. If you're in a good mood, he's in a good mood, she's in a good mood, everybody's in a good mood in the big circle. So just laughing, the Laffy Taffy jokes, remember, kind of bringing back memories, a comedy movie, anything at all that is going to put a smile on your face and a smile on other people's faces is going to help the whole situation relax, not just one person. The next suggestion that we have is to organize your place. The number one thing that frustrates people in the United States is clutter, except for the hoarders. You always see those house hoarders on those shows where they go in and everything's stacked to the ceiling. But organizing your place puts you at ease visually, but it also does mentally because you're not constantly thinking about the things that you have to get done at work and then coming home and the things that you have to get done at home too. So just take a few minutes in the morning or at night, just kind of clean up the house a little bit and put things away that don't necessarily have to be sitting out on the counter. Write a list out for the kids or the husband or the wife to do while you're gone. That way when you're not coming home after a long day's work with a whole other long day's work ahead of you. Another suggestion that we might have is to read a book. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a 500-page novel, but when you read, you're kind of captivated by the story and kind of taken to a different place or a different time, and everything else kind of shuts down around you. This is one of my personal favorites. I used to love reading, and I'd sit on the couch for like 6 hours at a time, and Mike would be like, Katie, did you hear what I just said to you? And I'm just like, no, I don't even know where I'm at right now because I'm so captivated by this story. And then the last thing that I could suggest for you guys, just kind of relax and wind down, is to count. It's very, very simple. You hear it all the time, counting sheep when you're falling asleep. It's one of the tips that they give you when you're in labor. It's kind of a funny thing, but when I was in labor, I always thought to myself, well, if a bull rider can stay on a bull for 8 seconds, I can get through this push. So I'd count to 8 and then breathe. So, I mean, that's a very kind of out there suggestion or out there example, but even counting, if you're frustrated to the point where you feel like you're going to blow up at somebody or your body is so tense and you can't think, in order, we'll just say that strategically. I can't even talk today. Kind of just like take a moment, sit down, close your eyes, count to 10, count backwards down to 1, and I can almost guarantee you that you're going to have better results from that. Thank you guys all for joining me today. I will see you right back here tomorrow for Katie in the Morning.